Hey guys, Brad Danger here, and if you love that sound, I have great news for you because this year that sound is not reserved for hedge fund managers, crypto bros, a guy named Chad who wears loafers without socks. Supercars are not mythical unicorns anymore. They are used cars. Very loud, very fast, very irresponsible used cars, and somehow, because of depreciation, bad press, scary maintenance stories, and people being terrified of buying anything that doesn't have a warranty and an iPad glued to its dash, some of the most insane performance cars ever made are now sitting in the same price range as a brand new, fully loaded crossover with beige interiors and zero soul. Yeah, so today we're talking about real deal supercars you can actually afford this year. Not theoretical listings, not dream prices from 5 years ago. Cars that exist right now, that are trading hands right now, and that you could realistically park in your garage without selling a kidney or committing tax fraud. We're stacking them by popularity, not my favorites, not what is the most exotic, the ones people actually want, search for, talk about, and actually buy. And first up is the undisputed king of cheap supercar popularity. The car that absolutely everybody knows. The car your neighbor's kid can identify from a half-mile away. And the one that I just gave away. And if you want to get entered for our next car giveaway, which will drop real soon, it's 2 cars. I've linked to it in the pinned first comment for you to sign up today. Let's go. The Nissan GT-R R35. This thing is not just popular, it is legendary. It is meme tier famous. It is the reason half of YouTube comments are just numbers followed by the word horsepower. When the R35 came out, it didn't just compete with supercars, it embarrassed them. And the craziest part is it's still doing that today. We're talking about a twin turbo 3.8 liter V6, all-wheel drive launch control, and a dual clutch transmission that was so advanced when it launched that Ferrari basically looked at it and said, we need to rethink some stuff. Early cars made around 480 horsepower, which doesn't sound crazy anymore until you remember this thing weighs as much as a small moon and still hits 60 in the low 3-second range. And then you remember that nobody leaves them stock. The modding potential is where the GT-R becomes unhinged. Bolt-ons in a tune will push you well past 600 horsepower, turbos, fueling, cooling, and suddenly you're in 4-digit territory. There are GTRs out there bullying hypercars that cost 10 times as much and doing it repeatedly without exploding, which feels illegal. Now let's talk money, because this is where it gets wild. Early R35s can be found as low as $45,000 to $50,000 if you're okay with higher mileage and you do your homework. That's Camry money. That's mildly spicy pickup truck money for a car that will absolutely ruin your perception of speed forever. The downside is real though. The transmission is incredible, but not cheap. Maintenance is not Nissan Altima cheap. Brakes are supercar expensive. Tires last about as long as a TikTok trend. But if you want the most performance per dollar, the most tuning headroom, and the most clout in a Cars and Coffee parking lot, nothing on this list beats the GT-R. That's why it's number 1. Next up, the everyday supercar, the one that made half of us fall in love with mid-engine layouts and gated shifters, the Audi R8. This thing is still one of the best looking cars Audi has ever made, and somehow it hasn't aged a day. And yes, your boy has owned one, and yes, it was sick, and yes, it made terrible financial sense. The R8 shares a ton of DNA with the Lamborghini Gallardo. Same basic architecture, same engine family, same Italian drama, but filtered through German engineering, which means you get the supercar experience without waking up every morning wondering if today is the day it refuses to start. You've got 2 main flavors here, the 4.2 liter V8 and the V10. The V8 is the sleeper pick, 420 horsepower, high revving, balanced, and lighter up front. It's honestly the one enthusiasts prefer once they actually drive both. The V10 is the one posters are made of, 500 plus horsepower, a noise that sounds like violence, and performance that still hangs with modern cars. And the best part, manual transmissions exist, real manuals with a gated shifter that feels like mechanical art. Prices have come down in a big way. You can find first-gen R8s in the low 50s if you're patient. I've seen clean V8 manuals flirt with $50,000. That is insane. Yes, maintenance exists. Yes, the V10 costs more to keep happy, but for the looks, the sound, and the usability, the R8 is one of the best all-around supercars you can buy this year without losing your mind. That's why it's number 2. Next up, the car that single-handedly redefined what Lamborghini could be, the Gallardo. Before this thing, Lamborghinis were terrifying. They were cool, but they were unpredictable, uncomfortable, and felt like they were built by people who hated owners. The Gallardo changed all of that. Naturally aspirated V10, 500 horsepower, all-wheel drive, a design that still looks modern today, and a driving experience that actually works. This is the Lamborghini most people actually bought, which is why it's also the Lamborghini most people can afford now. Early Gallardos are trading in the $80,000 to $90,000 range, with some high mileage examples dipping slightly below that. That's still a lot of money, but for a real Lamborghini, it's shockingly accessible. The sound alone is worth it. That V10 is raw, aggressive, and borderline offensive in the best way possible. The downside is the transmission. The E-Gear single clutch automated manual is not great. It's jerky. It's slow. And if you don't know how to drive it properly, it will absolutely eat clutches and your bank account. Manual cars exist, but they're climbing fast and you will pay a premium. Maintenance is expensive, but a lot of parts are shared with Audi, which helps more than you'd think. If you want the most recognizable exotic badge on this list and you're okay with some drama, the Gallardo delivers the full Lamborghini experience without the modern Lamborghini price tag. Next up, the ultimate sleeper supercar, the 996 Porsche 911 Turbo. Yes, the headlights look like breakfast food. Get over it. Under the rear deck lid is one of the greatest engines Porsche ever built. A 3.6-liter twin-turbo flat-six derived from the legendary Mezger design. No IMS issues, no nonsense, just boost and reliability. 415 horsepower stock all-wheel drive, a 0 to 60 time that was absurd when it launched and is still quick today, and stability at high speeds that feels supernatural. These cars take mods extremely well. Downpipes, tune, and suddenly you're in a completely different performance bracket. Bigger turbos and you're knocking on 600 wheel horsepower with ease. Prices are still reasonable, shockingly so. You can find decent 996 turbos in the $45,000 to $55,000 range if you're patient. Cars that sold for over $120,000 new. They're comfortable, they're usable, they're brutally fast, and they don't scream supercar unless you know what you're looking at. That's why enthusiasts love them. Next up, Italian drama, but the livable kind. The Ferrari 360 Modena. This was Ferrari's turning point. All aluminum chassis, a naturally aspirated V8 that revs to the sky, and reliability that didn't require weekly therapy. 400 horsepower, 8,500 RPM, and a sound that is pure emotion. The 360 is way easier to live with than the F355. Maintenance is still Ferrari expensive, but not nightmare fuel, and the driving experience is raw in a way modern cars just aren't. Prices have softened. You can find driver quality 360s in the low to mid 60s if you're careful. Manual cars cost more. F1 cars are cheaper but come with clutch anxiety. But if you want a real Ferrari experience without modern nonsense, the 360 delivers. And finally, the most beautiful and most terrifyingly expensive to maintain car on this list, the Ferrari F355. This is peak Ferrari design, peak Ferrari sound, 5 valves per cylinder, a naturally aspirated V8 that screams like a 90s Formula One car. Performance numbers don't matter here. This car is about the experience. The gated shifter, the noise, the way it makes everything else feel boring. Prices have dipped. You can find F355s in the high 60s to low 70s if you're brave, but here's the reality. Maintenance is brutal. Engine out services are mandatory. Belts are expensive. Skipping maintenance is a death sentence. This is not a cheap car to own. It is a cheap car to buy. But if you want the most emotional driving experience under 6 figures, nothing touches it. So there you have it, supercars you can actually afford this year. Some are sensible, some are insane. All of them will make your daily drive feel like a toaster. And if you want to find the cheapest examples of any of these, I've linked to all of them via Auto Tempest in the pinned first comment down below. And if you want to win one of these dream cars, well, I'm about to give away 2. So you can pin first comment, hit that link, and get signed up today. I'm Brad Danger. This is Ideal. Like, subscribe, turn on that notification bell, check out some of these Ideal vids over here, and promise me one thing, keep living the Ideal lifestyle.